Hey guys, Mike Bland here, St. Louis. I wanted to make some videos yesterday about these active shooter deals and school shootings in Texas and all that. I was going to talk about some things like just the basics on the active shooter stuff on if you're trapped in one, or how to act, how to respond. But you know, the way they teach now, the training for the law enforcement is one thing, and that's to simply, first guy on the scene now has been changed to goes in, hunts the guy down, stops him. Before, again, the recap on that was they didn't know what to do when these first started happening, and then they decided that the first 3 officers on scene show up, make a diamond formation, and go in and clear the building. The problem was, then they found out waiting until 3 guys got on scene is not also practical, because people could be inside and be getting killed. So then it turned into, well, first guy on scene, do your job you signed up for, took your oath for. Maybe it's not safe for you to go in alone, but you need to go in, you need to do what you can. So the days of the SWAT teams and the police surrounding the building, staging a block away, making a plan for an hour, and then surrounding the building, and then making a phone call like, you know, you see in the movies, and doing some hostage negotiation phone call. Those days are over. It has turned into, you know, if things are going to be turning into a full-on battle zone, combat zone, either one, then you're going to have to obviously adapt to that, and you're going to have to be thinking more and more in a survival mindset all the time. And as far as training at corporations, schools, churches, whatever, what they teach is the philosophy to run, fight, or hide, because those are the only 3 options you have. You can run out the back door, get out the window, get out a fire escape, run anywhere, run out wherever, you know, run past the guy. If you see him coming in the building, again, running anywhere that gets you out of this guy's path. And here's the thing, the moral of the story is, whatever option you pick, you have to make work. You have to give everything into making that option work. So if it's running, you better be like the Carl Lewis of runners, and no matter what happens, keep going. So if you fight, I think we all know that is a topic where it takes some serious courage to do that, because if you do any 3 of these options, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't know if any of them are going to work. There's no guarantees in life. So if you fight, you might be fighting because that's the kind of person you are, you have it in you. You might be fighting because your kids or family's in that next room the guy's going to be going into, so therefore that's the reason. Or you're just sick of seeing these kind of things happen. There's like a multitude of reasons a person could finally, get the courage in those kind of last seconds and face a guy like this. And keep in mind, I learned this as a police officer too, and doing all tactical training. Somebody might think if they fight and confront the guy, if he shoots them, that you're dead, you're gonna die. There's no actual, it's not, you might get shot, in other words, but the odds are, and if he does have a carbine or a rifle where you're talking about more energy coming out of the muzzle, then there is a very good chance, a much better chance of you dying. But if the shooter has a handgun, then the odds are, because of the decreased muscle velocity, the odds of you surviving are actually much greater. So, I mean, sure, the weapon type and everything factors in. And, there's so many things that go into this equation. But if you fight, you're also better off if you have multiple people helping you. If everybody rushes this guy, anyone, they're not going to be able to shoot 5, 10, or 20 people. It's just not going to happen. The problem is finding, 5, 10, 20 people that are going to be able to charge this guy and take him down and take the weapon away, disarm him, incapacitate the guy, or whatever, or worse, whatever you got to do to this person. to stop them. So that's the fighting scenario. And that means using anything you can use as a weapon. A chair, a knife, a rock. I mean, anything. And they also train people to, start throwing things at the guy to try to gain a second of, breaking his distraction, making him, kind of block and cover. Those things there and all done at once could greatly increase, your survival rate, especially the more people you have doing this. And basically taking the fight back to him, if you will, instead of running and being a target, or cowering in a corner and being a target. Now, let's get to the third option for you people, like I said, who have not had any training or beginners, is hiding. And again, if you're going to hide, it better be, if you're just in a regular basic room or office where there really is no place to hide, it's going to be tough. There might not be any hiding place, or you might have to get creative. You might have to make something to kind of just obscure that you're in, covering yourself, using things in that room to cover you up somehow. If there's drop tiles in the ceiling, if there's a window, no matter what, you better be finding a way, if you can, if you're even on first, second, third floor, it's better to break that window and drop out that window. You're probably going to get some type of injury, but it's better than being shot, multiple times. So, and the thing that sucks is these incidents are going to happen and there's going to be no warning. So when this happens, you just have to go into action. You're not going to have time to plan and figure out which way you're going to react to this. The more training you have, you're going to be much better off in any of these scenarios. But again, if you're hiding, then you've got to find the best place you can. You've got to make it work. You got to be quiet. You can't be crying. If you're in pain or you've already been shot, you're going to have to find a way to remind yourself that being quiet is literally going to be the thing that could be the difference between keeping you alive. So, again, these kids in this Uvalde, Texas shooting were brilliant. They were literally playing dead. The one poor girl had to use the blood from her dead friend to put on her, and she was also playing dead. And so there's going to be so much chaos going on, like I mentioned in the videos yesterday, and confusion and just turmoil. And then the shooters obviously mentally kind of snapped. So they're going to be all over the place too. And these are things where they might look like they have something planned out to some extent, but I don't think they ever really have this planned out A to Z. So, there's going to be so many thoughts racing through their minds. That's going to narrow down. That's going to tunnel vision them, just like anyone else. Any civilian, police, military, SWAT. You've always taught about the tunnel visioning, and when your adrenaline kicks in, it kind of just narrows down your scope of what's going on, closes in that peripheral, and even though you need to, fight that and slow down, slow your breathing down, and think about options, when you're able to. But the fact that that's happening to that shooter, the more calm you can be and think, what do I need to do here, and not panic, is actually going to help you out a great deal. So I think the next video I'm going to jump into is the best weapons, or the weapons that, I would have or I would respond to with personally as an active shooter. And as a law enforcement officer, I did respond to calls with, calls for active shooters / guy with the gun in public threatening everyone. So I can tell you actually what I did. I don't think I've ever actually made a video on that, and how I handled that, and how we disarmed the, and stopped the guy, and everybody, lived to enjoy another day scenario. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.